Why do some founders consistently hire world-class talent while others struggle to find the right fit? In this video, we will break down the psychology of building winning teams, drawing on insight from Martin Warner, a successful entrepreneur who has taught thousands of other entrepreneurs. Let's get started. Insight 1. When hiring, look for people who can grow beyond their roles. According to Martin Warner, hiring is not just about filling positions, it's also about recognizing that you're building the future of your company. Here's how he puts it. Average companies look for people to fill roles, while exceptional companies look for people who can grow beyond their roles. This is because A players hire B players, B players hire C players, and C players hire D players. Every hire is like adding a new ingredient to a recipe. One wrong element can throw off the entire dish, while the right combination creates something extraordinary. Insight 2. Treat hiring like a continuous process, not a reactive event. Martin believes that the best time to think about hiring isn't when you need someone, it's long before that. He says, and I quote, "When you're desperate to fill a position, you're operating from a point of weakness. Your judgment gets clouded by immediate needs, and you start making compromises you wouldn't otherwise make." That's why the most successful founders avoid this trap by staying ahead of their hiring needs and anticipating the gap in their team. Insight 3. Understand how each hire affects your company's culture. Here's what Martin says. Culture is about creating an environment where certain behaviors and attitudes naturally thrive, while others fade away. Think of your company culture like a garden, where each new hire is like planting a new species. You need to consider not just how they'll grow individually, but how they'll interact with everything else you've planted. So every time you hire someone, ask yourself, will they enhance the ecosystem or compete with it? Insight 4. Don't just rely on interviews, also test for skills and culture fit. If you're still relying solely on structured interview questions to make your hiring decisions, Martin has a word for you. Here's how he explains it. Sitting across a table asking hypothetical questions rarely reveals who someone truly is. That's why innovative founders create opportunities to see candidates in action instead of relying solely on interviews. They design practical challenges that simulate real-work scenarios. They also involve team members in the hiring process, not just to evaluate skills, but to assess cultural fit. They pay attention to how the candidates interact with everyone from the receptionist to the CEO. Insight 5. Use references to obtain information about candidates. As you hire, do not forget the power of references. Martin puts it like this. The best information about a candidate rarely comes from the candidate themselves. It comes from the network around them. That's why smart founders build networks that allow them to get honest, unofficial feedback about candidates. They know how to ask questions that reveal patterns rather than isolated incidents. They understand that how someone describes a candidate often says as much as what they say about them. Insight 6. Know how to speak each candidate's compensation language. Martin believes that the key to making a successful hire is not about the salary, but about learning how to speak the compensation language of your candidate fluently. As he says, successful founders understand how to create compelling total value propositions that go beyond salary. This is because different people value different aspects of compensation. Some prioritize equity over salary, while others value flexibility over traditional benefits. Insight 7. Have a structured onboarding process that supports new hires. The hiring process doesn't end when someone accepts your offer. According to Martin, that's actually when the most crucial phase begins. In his words, successful CEOs know that the first 90 days can make or break a new hire, so they create structured onboarding processes that balance immediate productivity with long-term development. They also set clear expectations while providing the support needed to meet those expectations. To achieve this, they establish a clear feedback channel from day one and create environments where constructive criticism flows naturally in both directions. Insight 8. Create growth opportunities for top talent. Here's how Martin explains it. Successful founders understand that the best people aren't just looking for a job. They're looking for a journey, and they want to know how their role will evolve as the company grows. However, this doesn't mean promising specific promotions. It means creating environments where growth is not just possible, but inevitable. Insight 9. Every departure is an opportunity to strengthen your reputation in the talent market. Martin insists that how you handle departures says as much about your company as how you handle your rivals. He puts it like this: successful founders understand that every departure is an opportunity to strengthen their reputation in the talent market. That's why they create alumni networks that turn former employees into ambassadors. They also conduct thoughtful exit interviews that provide valuable insights. And lastly, they maintain relationships that often lead to future opportunities, referrals, and even returns. Here's a quick summary of the key insights on how to build winning teams according to Martin Warner. When hiring, look for people who can grow beyond their roles. Treat hiring like a continuous process and not a reactive event. Understand how each hire affects your company's culture. Don't just rely on interviews, also test for skills and culture fit. Use references to obtain information about candidates. Know how to speak each candidate's compensation language. Have a structured onboarding process that supports new hires. Create growth opportunities for top talent. Every departure is an opportunity to strengthen your reputation in the talent market. If you want to consistently hire top talent and reduce the risk of making bad hires, I highly recommend you check out WorkScreen. The link is in the description.